wish to welcome all of you for today's training. Welcome, and thank you for today's training. Thank you for taking. Appreciate you and your training. Hello, good evening once again. Thank you for taking time to be part of today's training. We wish to welcome you for another section or another session of this training and mediation. Conflict and mediation is one of we have, you know, a lot of conflicts going on in our marriages, inhuman treatments in between, couples. All of these are happening in our communities, society. Now we send somebody, you know, killed his wife as a result of marital conflict. Today, I'm seeing something online that he arrested in Adoekiti. The wife, I didn't read through the story, but I can see that the woman was the act of physical violence. Do you understand? Physical violence plaguing the home. So it has been some of the challenges. These are some of the barbaric behaviors that we grow up to see, most especially in our homes. Like when I was growing up in the community, I used to see those kind of barbaric acts. Why I appreciate the fact that I grew up in a home where domestic violence was not, visible. Do you understand? It was not visible. But um, some neighbors used to exert some kind of domestic violence that were quite difficult to comprehend, even for the woman and anybody around. I could remember vividly one man that used to maltreat his wife. Whenever he comes, Whenever he has a disagreement with the wife and the woman around to, so I was telling you about one man that used to maltreat his wife, physically and emotionally. Do you understand? It was a very challenging period for that woman. And when we were growing up, we used to see these things happening around us. Do you understand? And to some point, some of us, although even as a child or as a young boy at that stage, I was not comfortable with the way the man used to treat his wife. Because sometimes the man had a bike, so sometimes we tie the wife, tie the wife like we dragging her, while riding the bike. It was a very, very terrible situation, you know. But nobody seems to say anything, maybe out of ignorance or out of what. And this man kept doing all of this. You understand? But we were young boys, so we couldn't just do anything. We couldn't just help the situation. Do you understand? Our opinions, so far as the local people and the community is concerned, was inconsequential because we were still very young people. So we have nothing to do. and nothing to say concerning the matter. Do you understand? So so it was a very challenging period for some of us witnessing something like that happen. And I'm talking to you that even right now, even in a city, right, where there is so much exposure, people still indulge in this kind of inhuman treatment, maltreating your wife or maltreating your husband, as the case may be. You understand? So saw this afternoon how a man maltreated a wife in the Ekiti state. You understand? So, and I think he was arrested also. So it is a quite terrible situation. So you some I'm talking to you about physical violence. I'm not talking about emotional abuse. Do you understand? Because some of you are going through emotional and psychological abuse. Do you understand? You know, it may not be physical violence, but you're going through a lot so far as your marriage is concerned. Some of you, when you go out, coming back home, it's like you don't wish to return back to your house. Why? Because you felt that you're not enjoying your home as you should. You understand? So it's always a problem. Then we talk about sometimes you come home drunk because you're going through emotional problems. You understand? So all of these are issues that have been, you know, affect our marriages, our homes, and sometimes they lead to divorce, marriage breaking up, and all of that. It's a challenge. And when there's a breakup in a home, the children end up receiving the pains of that breakup. It doesn't matter what one parent is capable of doing for the children. So far, the children are not receiving training from both parents. There was a divorce in our family. They begin to ask questions: what could have caused it? They begin to receive different kind of explanations, and these kinds of explanations sometimes lead them to begin to hate a particular gender. Some end up hating women. I don't know whether it's as a result of that that we begin to have all these kind of gender issues that we have been talking about, LGBT and so many other stuff are coming up. Do you understand? We are practically someone their own because they begin to share different experiences. Some people, because marriage break up, they decide I don't want to go, I don't want to marry again. But what are they doing? Do you understand? So these are some of the issues that I'm talking about here today. So marriage is an institution that must be respected, must be valued. You understand? You must value the institution of marriage, and the sanctity of that marriage must also be valued, must be protected. You understand? Very, very important. When a situation whereby we say we're Africans, anything goes. No, I, I'm not talking about marrying a second wife. Marrying a second wife is not in my place to prohibit or to advise that someone should not do. So, but one thing again that I would say is don't marry a second wife simply because you want to punish someone. Marry out of love and let the other woman agree with that marriage first. You understand? And if you are in a culture, in a tradition that marrying more than one wife is a welcome development, is valued, is accepted, then it's a matter of discussion. But it shouldn't be it that you are marrying someone simply because you want to punish another. No. And in a society whereby a woman can marry more than one man, don't marry simply because you want to punish your man. But it should be that you're marrying more than one man because of certain desires that you want to fulfill, not simply because you want to punish someone. You understand? So in whatever ways, I'm saying that conflict must be a way of resolving conflict in your home. Because at the end of it all, the children end up suffering and the society also suffers as a result of family crisis. Some of the children that we see them being kidnappers today, some of them that are criminals, some of them that indulge in all sort of acts of violence. If we check very well, trace the history very well, discover that their homes were plagued with different kinds of violence, and they grow up with that attitude, grow up with that mentality. Some of them grow up without appreciating anything good in the society because marriage, they don't see anything good in the society so far as they are concerned. They look at everybody as a wicked person. You understand? Look at everybody as a wicked person. So all of these can be a problem. You understand? So it's the reason why we must, at all costs, resolve marital conflict so that our children will not suffer and the society also end up suffering. I get a point now. So today, I want us to look at conflict resolution strategies that you can use to resolve marital conflicts. This may be normal, you know, conflict resolution strategies, but we are going to look at how you can apply these marital strategies or these conflict resolution strategies in marital situations. You understand? In marital conflict. So we'll be looking at different conflict resolution strategies and how these can be, applied in a marital conflict situation. So we are saying that navigating conflicts in relationship can be a very delicate and challenging task. All right, it can be a very delicate and challenging what challenging task. But we say that with the right strategies, couples can overcome even the toughest disputes. It doesn't matter how tough it may seem, you can be able to navigate through the dispute and come out with solutions that benefit both parties. I have, if you are doubting what I'm saying, I myself went through a very difficult moment at some time in my marriage. But I took it upon myself that my marriage must not scatter. That's number one. Because there are things that I value. You understand? I value family. right? I value my sanctity as a person. You understand? So I made up my mind that on no account my marriage should be destroyed. So I was ready to do everything possible to make sure that my marriage, you know, is not was not broken. You understand? So I took my time and let go a lot of things, ego, so many things, you know, and then I made sure that everything was resolved as much as possible as God helped me. Do you understand? So, but it's first and foremost has to come from you, from within you yourself, the parties involved in the conflict. You must make up your mind that my marriage must not scatter, except when you are looking at other things outside, when you don't have interest in your marriage. But if you have interest in your marriage and you make up your mind that your marriage cannot be destroyed, then there's nothing that will destroy your marriage because you are willing to do anything possible to preserve your marriage. So I came to a toughest situation in my marriage, but I was able to stand firmly to resolve it. You understand? Stand firmly to resolve it. You understand? I handle it, and today I'm enjoying peace in my home. Do you understand? Because there are certain things that after that experience, I decided that I, as a person, I will not do again. You understand? I say one, two, three, four, five things I will not do again in my life, as in a person, for the sake of my home, for the sake of my marriage. Do you understand? So it's left for you to decide these things. Do you understand? So once you make up your mind and decide on how your marriage should be, and then you are praying and trusting God and taking steps to help to protect, to preserve and protect your marriage, then there's nothing that will. I don't know whether some of you are married or not, but I know that most of you here are married, are married people, and I know you are enjoying peace in your home. Do everything to sustain what you are enjoying, and also improve where there are challenges. But if you are having any challenge with your conflict or your marriage, any conflict of any kind with your marriage, then you should be able to take steps to resolve that conflict. Maybe I will take time and then maybe some of these things I may do maybe this training that I'll be covering this manual that we'll be looking at because I will soon exhaust this material. So there are things that we are going to look at outside of this manual. All right, that will take each particular case to address. All right, marriages are suffering constant violence, like physical violence. Marriages are going through psychological violence. How do we address them? So we begin to look at some practical steps that we can take to address those issues. Do you understand? So I believe that it will help us to understand more on this course. Do you understand? And then, so that in case you are going through a particular conflicting situation at the moment, maybe this training will help you to address it after the training. Do you understand? So it's very, very important because I know that some of these challenges we're having in our society today, some of these issues of insecurity that we are having in our countries, in our nations today, is because the home itself has been affected. Marriage has been plagued with a lot of issues. That's why we are producing children that are not godly and goodly raised. Do you understand? So when we raise children in the fear of God, of course, the society can be better. Even if we don't believe in God, but you believe that there is something, there are values that must be cherished. value of peace, value of love. You understand? Value of unity. If these things are, if any of this means anything to you, then it must be inculcated in our marriages. It must be protected. It must be cherished. It must be, it must be advanced in our marriage. I love peace. You understand? And I value peace. You understand? I value peace. And I don't just, it's not because I'm teaching peace. It's not because I'm a peace ambassador by maybe certification or whatever means, or by the nature of the work I'm doing. No, it's because right from time, it's just that I'm just doing what I love, right from time. You understand? That's why I'm so passionate about it. Right from time. I don't like violence. I don't like it at all. It make me. I can see. I can see a kind of some. I can see somebody being maltreated online, just like beat, like as maybe somebody beat a child or done some kind of harms to a child, and then I see the picture online. I'll be shedding tears. You understand? That's how I don't like violence. And as a result, like me personally, I don't beat my children. Like there's, I can't. I don't know when last I raised my hand on my child and say I beat you. Do you understand? Because sometimes my wife will give them small, but I'll be feeling somehow. Do you understand? But I will not say anything because for me, I know that whatever she will make her to discipline them is simply because maybe she felt that was the best way to handle the situation. So I just keep quiet. But I don't feel inside of me. I feel like something was not just correct. Do you understand? That is just me. You understand? Because me, I believe that someone must not necessarily hear advice on account of beating or anything like that. When you can talk to someone and the person can get not necessarily beating, but a situation whereby there's need to beat, you can beat, but the beating must not be in anger. There's a way that you correct someone but not correcting the person in anger. Do you understand? But most of the times, to correct the child in anger, you beat and then be insulting. You are not beating alone, you are insulting. Cause sometimes say some parents will be cursing their own children. You useless this thing. You cannot even amount to anything. Do you know how what it took me to bring you into this world? Eh? All of these things, do you understand? At the end of the day, a child becomes useless because parents will discipline children in anger and saying all manner of pronouncement. And they say there's power in our tongues. You pronounce it, then the destiny adjusted according to your pronouncement. The enemy also pick it up. The devil also pick it up. And whatever that is negative, adjusted and aligned based on your declaration. You say to your child that he will not amount to anything good. So later on, you will sit and be crying. But you forgot that you were the cause of all of these things. You understand? So don't discipline your children in anger. But some of the problems we are seeing today is because of what they receive in the course of, you know, people that brought them up. Yes. Prof, I agree with you. I agree with you because, sometimes you apply cane where necessary. I was beaten, even in school, do you understand? Even in my home, I was beaten. Yeah, I know that there was no such kind of violence in my home, but I was beaten just to make sure that I maintain the right path. And today, we need to also appreciate those beatings to some extent. Do you understand? Because if not, we were going wide. But with the cane, You understand? I have a cane in my house, but I don't just beat. I don't just use it, but sometimes I carry it. I said, you see, I can apply this on you. You understand? But I don't want it. So behave yourself. You know. But my wife can do it, and that's why whenever she does it, I don't say a word because I know that it's also another way to discipline a child. The Bible, even the Bible says we should not, spare that thing. Okay, we can use it. Yes, somebody's quoting. That's what I'm trying to say now. You know, so it's necessary, but don't beat a child in anger to a point that it becomes abuse and violence. There's a limit to where you can discipline a child. Do you understand? Because even the Bible itself says that if you make the child to be also angry with you, you the parents, it's going to be a problem. Because it gets to a point where even children can be angry. And if they get angry, they may decide to leave the home. Do you understand? Most especially if they are of adult age, they may decide to leave the home and they fall into this community, into the society as children that you know, you know, all this kind of delinquency and all those stuff. Do you understand? So it becomes a problem to the community. So these are the issues. So tough and toughest situation, we must be able to address them. It doesn't matter. So this, so conflict resolution strategies are what we're going to consider today. So we're going to look at collaborative problem solving. Collaborative what? Problem solving. This is a win-win approach. Yeah. As couples, we must collaborate to solve our problems. It's not a one-sided situation. It's good that that offense may come from someone. It always starts by someone. Do you understand? It always begins with someone. But for the solution, both of you must cooperate to solve that problem, must collaborate to solve the problem. I may start the problem, but you must be willing to collaborate or to cooperate with me for us to solve the problem that I started. Because it takes a lot to resolve a problem. Okay, for instance, now, maybe the problem may be simply because I'm spending money on alcohol. All right, I'm spending money on alcohol, and this is becoming a problem because one, money is not being saved anywhere. Even when there is an emergency situation to raise money, there's no money anywhere. Why? Because money has gone on alcohol, and I love alcohol. Let's take it that way. I love alcohol. That's why I'm taking, and money is going on alcohol, and so it becomes a problem in a home. The wife is complaining when challenges comes. There's no unforeseen arrangement that was made for anything. So it becomes a challenge. Now you want to solve this, now becomes a problem. The wife always quarreling with the husband on account of drunkenness, alcohol issues. Do you understand? And then it's now become a source of problem in the home. You know that sometimes even to some extent, the wives, some women may not be willing to go close to their husbands, maybe on account of alcohol. Do you understand? Maybe you're drunk and then get yourself drunk and then return home. The wife even serve you food. She doesn't want to even on the same bed. Maybe she doesn't want to sleep on the same bed with you simply because the smell of the alcohol is everywhere. Do you understand? And then maybe she doesn't want that. Now the husband enjoy taking alcohol, right? The wife is not taking alcohol. The wife is not the cause of this problem. Maybe there are situations whereby a man indulge into taking alcohol simply because maybe she's not receiving attention, or maybe she's being psychological, emotionally, affected from the home, and then he indulged in this situation. This is a different case, but I'm talking about a case whereby, and even if this is the case, you and the wife should be able to sit down and discuss the genesis of the genesis. Do you understand how it all started? This your alcohol. What is it? What is it all about? How, at what point did you start drinking, and what could be responsible for alcoholism? Do you understand? So you should be able to explain to your wife what brought about alcoholism. Do you understand? That is alcoholic intake. Now, not I'm not saying that taking alcohol is something bad. I'm not that. I'm not preaching here. Do you understand? I'm not a religious preacher here, because although according to my belief and according to the teachings I receive, I'm made to understand that alcohol is not good. That's one. Most especially when it's being abused. You understand? You take it to a point whereby you forget your senses. That is that is another argument all around. But that one is not part of this training. Now, you believe in taking alcohol, but you are taking it moderately in such a way that it's not affecting your sense of reasoning. You understand? That is a different case. Do you understand? Now, but you are taking alcohol to a point that alcohol becomes a problem in your home. You cannot save money because you are taking alcohol. You cannot do anything reasonable because of alcohol. Then that's where the problem is. You understand? And maybe this is a situation whereby you want to address in your home. Do you understand? Like I say, it may be two ways. Maybe wife's misbehavior may cause a man to indulge in it, or a man just indulge in it as a result of maybe socialization, and maybe peer, groups and all of that, or friends and all of that, and then he's doing it, and then this is affecting the home. So you want to resolve this issue, you need a solving with this issue. All the parties must collaboratively look into the issue and resolve it. Now, if it is because of wife's misbehavior that caused you to indulge in alcoholic intake, to a point whereby it's being abused, a point whereby it's affecting your marriage, affecting your finances, then you sit your wife down to discuss, Madam, you have been complaining about the issue of alcohol. This alcohol, I'm taking this alcohol simply because of the way and manner you have been, you know, or the way and manner things were happening in the home. I'm trying to be professional in my discussion with you here now, because in a mere, in a layman discussion, it may be a direct kind of language of accusation. Do you understand? It's because you have been doing this or you have been doing that. That's why I am doing this. No, but you can say professionally now. I'm talking to you as professionals now because you are a professional. I believe so. Now, by this training, you're going to be a professional. All right. So I want you to handle it professionally. All right. Now, you can tell your wife that you have been going through some psychological and emotional problems, and this problem is as a result of lack of attention that I have been receiving recently from my uh, from my home and all of that. So it's sometimes I felt ignore, sometimes I felt you know not love and all of those things. So I have and sometimes I felt so disrespected. This is one thing that men complain about so much in their marriages: disrespect. The fact that they are not being respected enough. Do you understand? So they feel that, okay, let me seek for something somewhere. that can keep my mind away from home. Do you understand? And so this is what causes the whole stuff that I'm indulging in alcoholic intake. So now, you know, by this discussion, it's hitting the, the root cause of the problem. Now you are beginning to dig down to the root cause of the problem. Now, okay, and the wife wants this alcoholic abuse to stop or to reduce. Now the wife should be able to cooperate with the husband. Okay, my husband, you say is because you felt that you are not being respected. Okay, what and what do you want me to do that you feel respected? What and what do you want me to do that you feel loved? Do you understand? And then you begin to itemize those things that you want to be seen from your wife, right? Now, your wife also want alcohol to stop so that money can be saved, so that there will be sanctity in the home. Now, you will now say, okay, if this thing happens, I'll stop taking alcohol. I know an alcoholic person also does keep late at night. Do you understand? Keep, some of them can even. I have some a friend of mine that used to come back because of alcohol. Around we stay in the same room, but during our service year, this guy will come back by 12 midnight or 2 a.m. He's somewhere drinking. You understand? And sometimes he'll come back. The day he finished his NYC and left, the landlord changed my apartment to come and face him because he observed the two of us and discovered that my life was just different. Do you understand? So this is what happened. So and then you say one, two, three, four, five things that I will stop. So and then you execute them. You take steps to execute those things that you have agreed upon. Do you understand? That you're not going to do it. So first and foremost, what I'm trying to say here in essence is that when it comes to collaborative problem solving, which is a win-win approach, the first thing you need to do is to identify the problem. Identify what's the problem. So if the problem is alcoholism, then you should be also go down deep to know the root cause of the problem, because you may be looking at a particular problem, but the problem may not itself be the problem. There may be something that is causing that particular thing. Do you understand? This way we talk about the issue of cause and effect. Do you understand? The cause effect relationship. Do you understand? Because something causing something, and then you are seeing something else. All right. So this alcohol may be an effect of a particular root cause, and this is reproducing another effect, which is lack of finances in the home, lack of savings, lack of peace. These are all effects. Do you understand? As a result of a root cause of a problem. So the first step in collaborative problem solving is to clearly define the issue at hand. You must first and foremost define that issue and define it clearly. No form of ambiguity. You understand? You should be able to say this is the problem. I think there's one of the marriage that is under attack, a popular musician. I don't want to mention name. You understand? But I think you know, and they're having issues in their home. Marriage at I think it's already gone. Maybe or maybe there are still elements or chances of the marriage being restored. But this thing is coming on account of what is say is drug abuse. You understand? Drug abuse. Now the question is, when did they realize that there was drug abuse issues? Is it at the point whereby the issue can no longer be dealt with that. They came to realize, oh, they knew all along that something was going on, but nobody cares until the negative aspect of it begin to manifest. Do you understand? So these are the issues. Now, what was the responsibility of the husband in this case? At what point did he discover that the wife was indulging in drug abuse? Or does he know it all along? But because now there's a problem that is taking the family finances, trying to rehabilitate or trying to, address those issues that is becoming a problem. Are you getting my point now? Now, was this supposed to end the marriage if the husband knew all along that the wife was indulging in drugs? So if he supported this from right from time, and now because the negative aspect of his manifestation and begins to abandon the wife, I think it's not fair. He should have been in a position to know that this thing has negative effect if it's continually being abused. Okay, but let's take it that okay, we're not there, so let's take it. And this thing I'm talking about here, I'm not saying it. I'm just trying to bring different perspective. I'm not saying categorically that this is what happened. Do you understand? So now, and I'm also saying based on account of stories we are hearing around, not on any kind of facts that we know say these are facts. Do you understand? We are talking on based on the things that we are hearing around. Now, another aspect to look at the issue is the husband knew all along that this thing was happening. Was he supporting it or was he against it? What step were he taking to stop the wife from engaging in this? Was there any step taken so far to stop it? And why is that there was no, why is that there was a resistance in terms of maybe refusing to stop? Do you understand? And so, if I am to engage in mediating on this matter, these are the kind of questions I will be asking so that I will be able to know deeply what actually happened that they got to this point. If there are any form of complicit involvement from the husband, then that woman may not deserve what she is about to, or she's going through now. Because if the husband supported it all along, then you should be able to support the effect of what is happening. You should be able to accommodate the woman's conditions and continue to bear responsibility for complicit or whatever whatever form of role that he plays in it to sustain it, he should continue to do it, not necessarily abandon the wife. Do you understand? And then go for another. I'm just saying this, but if it's something that was going behind the door and maybe at some point the husband got to know about it and maybe a lot of things happen, yeah, and even at that, we can still consider the possibility of, you know, then continue as husband and wives. But if it has gone to a point whereby staying together becomes a challenging situation or a kind of impossibility, because maybe there's some point that you get to a point whereby you say, at this point that I am, the best solution for my life is to part way. Then at that point, we will just guide on the possible way so that it will not be troublesome like the way we are seeing it is becoming an issue like in the public space and then it becoming a problem. Do you understand? It shouldn't have gotten to that point if they properly engage um, marital counselors or mediators to help them to address the issues. Do you understand? So these are the issues. So somebody is asking question, what if the husband is the one who introduced the wife to it? These are the things I'm talking about. I'm talking about any form of complice involvement, whether he introduced the wife to it or he knows it all along. Maybe he was not doing it or he has not been doing it, but he knows it all along that the wife is doing it, and maybe in one way or the other was supporting it to some extent, and now the the negative effect of it is manifesting, and then he doesn't want to take responsibility, then it's not correct. He should also be held accountable for supporting drugs. You understand? He should be. Sometimes we do some of these things and they refuse to take responsibilities. If we are able to hold people accountable for their actions, then um, people will begin to learn lessons from it. That's why sometimes we should not just look at issues like this and let them go like that. We should be able to investigate to know. Now that yes, we are not stopping you from separating from your wife. That's fine. You can separate from her as much as you can. There's no problem. But we want to know, at what point did you discover that your wife was doing drugs? What was your role? What role did you play to stop it? Did you involve anybody like maybe a professional to cancel, or did you trying to involve the security agencies? Because there are some certain things that if you really don't want them happening, even as much as it's your marriage, if you want to really, really save your marriage, you understand, you really want to protect your marriage, you may not necessarily put it like popular people like that. There are some levels that you can engage some professionals. Do you understand? So that they will be able to tell you the dangers of what is involved. Because sometimes people go into this thing without necessarily know the danger. The danger of it is not just when you are arrested. No, that is another aspect, that you are abusing drugs. Once you are arrested, there will be a problem. But what about if you also tell them the side effect of those drugs they are taking? And even if they know, you try to still amplify this, emphasize those effects. And then, of course, the possibility of even damaging your relationship with your spouse. Do you understand? So if they begin to understand some of these things now, it would have been better off. But if the husband was not aware, he just come to know at the point of trying to manage some kind of, maybe when the negative effect begin to manifest, and then they went to the hospital and then discovered that this is what the wife has been doing all along, that this thing is happening. This kind of situation will be very, very, very difficult to reconcile. Do you understand? Because the betrayal is a betrayal of our trust. And once trust is being betrayed, it's difficult to restore it, except it takes the cooperation of collaboration of the two parties to solve the problem. Right? This is what I'm talking about here. So, by actively listening to each other perspective, you can gain a deeper understanding of the problem and its underlying causes. Underlying causes. Underlying what causes? The root causes. You understand? So, but please let's say this clearly here. What we're talking about this matter, because in a public space, you people are aware of it. I am refusing to mention names. You are mentioning names in the comment section, but me, I refuse to mention names. But I know that it's in a public space, everybody's discussing it. You understand? But it's not in my place as a professional to put mouth on such matters like that. But if I am invited to come to talk about this or to come and mediate on this matter, then there are some pertinent questions that we ask to dig deep into the situation, not just what we are seeing now. People don't go deep into issues. They look at the peripheral aspect of the issue and begin to discuss and then begin to make statement, public statement, counter accusation, and all manner of insult, all manner of statement. No, you will not catch me commenting on things like that. Go down deep into it, ask questions before you comment. So when you identify the problem, explore potential solutions. All right. When you identify what the problem, what do? You explore what potential solutions. Through open-minded brainstorming, you can generate a wide range of possible solutions that address both parties' needs and what interests. So people are still wishing me happy birthday. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. This approach fosters creativity and encourages the exploration of innovative ideas. So you can see this is the issue. Now, okay, now we say that I, I want my husband to stop alcoholism or alcoholic intake. And now you identify that is a problem, right? We now sat down and look at the underlying causes, which we say, okay, part of it was contributed by the wife, and then all of you agree that yes, I was at fault for doing this or for not understanding, for not realizing that what I was doing was affecting my husband or whatever. So I'm sorry, and I'm willing that I'm going to adjust to make sure that you are not experiencing what has been, going on. And then your husband also commits to the fact that okay, um, although I have gone deep into this, but maybe from now I may not be taking too much alcohol. Maybe I'll take one bottle, maybe in a day. Maybe as time goes on, gradually I will stop withdrawing. Do you understand? And then like that, and then maybe finally we get out of it. Do you understand? So this is the situation. So once you explore all those potentials, all right, potential solutions, then you'll be able to come out of a problem. So now the next thing to do is to evaluate and agree on a solution. All right, carefully evaluating the proposed solutions and reaching a mutual agreement is the final step in collaborative problem solving. This process ensures that the chosen solution satisfies both parties and leads to lasting win-win outcomes. So at the end of the day, once you agreed on a particular proposed solution, then what do? Go out there and solve the problem. Begin to implement what you have agreed on. What you have agreed on, begin to take steps to make sure that you put them in place, put them to a point whereby you will not have any issues. Do you understand? So this is what we're talking about here. And you have to monitor it. You have to monitor the implementation. Once you agree on the course of action to be taken, then you have to monitor its implementation to make sure that what you have agreed on is being implemented. You begin to monitor. Is your wife now respecting you? Is your wife now, you know, showing you love and care? Is the husband now being responsible? Stop taking alcohol and all of those stuff. You begin to ask, begin to monitor to see that all of these things are happening. Do you understand? So when that thing happens, when that thing happens, you know that your marriage is safe. And in case maybe one person did not cooperate to implement those agreements, you can still revisit the situation by sitting down to, you know, reconsider to know what are the challenges that you have encountered in the course of trying to implement this. Maybe the husband said that henceforth I'll be taking one bottle, but he ended up taking 30 bottles. So what happened? Do you understand? So if it's because you went out and sit with friends that end up taking 30 bottles, then you stop sitting out. henceforth you'll be, if you need alcohol, you buy and bring it home so that you take at home. One, you understand? So maybe with time you'll not be taking at all. So these are the issues. Are we together? So we look at collaborative problem solving approach as one of the strategies to resolve marital conflict. Couples must always come together to solve their own problems. Like, for instance, me, I'm an advocate of the fact that no matter how your problem may look like, it's best for you to solve the problem by yourself. You understand? It's best. The best way is to solve your problem by yourself. By the time you allow your problems to go out, your secret, your privacy is exposed. Your secret is known. Even if someone chooses not to say anything about it, just know that your secret is known. And if there are some certain respect that the person holds for you, you begin to see that those respects drops. Do you understand? Or to reduce. The person may not hold you to a high esteem anymore. Do you understand? If I know that you are a woman beater, even if you have resolved the problem, I will still view you as one. These are some of the realities I will leave to move on with. Do you understand? So please always make effort to resolve your marital problems by yourselves, the couple, before you can think of inviting Mr. Joshua to come and mediate in your matter. You must take steps to resolve your own problem first. That is the best way to go about it. It is better that Joshua should not know your problem. I'm not saying that you should be suffering in silence and then die in silence, like a popular singer that died some time ago. She was going through a lot in her home and then don't want anybody to know about it, but the problem was not solved and it led to her death. You understand? That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. You should be able, you should be able to address it. Don't allow the problems to lingers. If it lingers, seek for help outside of your home. But it must be a professional, someone that can protect your secret. Do you understand? That's what we're talking about here. The woman in Anambra was killed on the bed, and that was very bad. And sometimes some of these things happen. Sometimes we are aware of these things, but we refuse to take steps to stop them from happening. Maybe in one of our peace piece, what I will try to do is I will talk about some of these issues, how to address a marital conflict that is experiencing physical abuse. I saw one video some time ago in Akwa Ibom where a barrister, a law, a professional, was beating his wife, and I beat and throw. The one was running naked outside and throw video it, and it was on nobody can do it. And look, this kind of people, their license should be withdrawn as much as a lawyer, legal practitioner, your license should be withdrawn immediately. Do you understand? And then, of course, any marriage that is undergoing physical violence, if you happens to be in that place, you are not separating the couple, so but at that moment that the thing is happening, you should be able to separate those couples for the moment. Do you understand? It doesn't matter what one may feel. A marriage. It doesn't matter how the woman express optimism about the marriage that is going to serve and all of that. At that moment, separate the woman and the husband. All right. Either you send the woman to a cousin or a family member that is close by to go and stay with down, and then first and foremost be sat down, let them discuss their marriage and it to be so that all along again instead of leaving it like that. That's why that woman in Anambra was killed. From the story I heard, they say that first and foremost the man pour the woman hot water or so something, and people gather, and then maybe the issue was tried to resolve. At the end of the day, in the last day, you understand, pouring fuel and burning the woman to ashes. We should not do that thing. So how can you leave a woman that underwent, then you just people, I'm talking about the community people, and then again this man was not, they were not, I'm not saying that you should jump into people, at least no, it's your business, it's your business, because we must be our neighbor's keeper, son, our brother's keeper. It's your business. For the sanctity of the society, it's your business. Because once you ignore to take steps, all right, once you refuse to do something, you are encouraging something like that to continue to happen in that community. So it's your business. Do you understand? It's everybody's business. Don't be in a community whereby someone is abusing his wife and you keep quiet. It's none of my business. These couples are always fighting. So what is your role as a neighbor? What is your role as a neighbor? You must do something. You must take steps to prevent that thing from happening. Do you understand? Yeah. I don't know whether you understand what I'm trying to say here. It's very important. Do you understand? Very important. So this is corroborative problem solving. I have taken my time to talk about one right today. Right. So tomorrow we'll look at another one: compromise and negotiation. So tomorrow we'll look at compromise and negotiation. You understand? Because I think we need to discuss these things very extensively. That's why I took time to explain one today: corroborative problem solving. Sit down and look at the problem, solve it. Now, if at any point you want to discuss with your spouse or your partner and the tensions are high, what do you do? Just leave the matter for the moment. So when they, if you cannot leave the matter, if you are finding difficult on what to do, is for you to leave home and go somewhere. Use my father do explore the kind of approach my father used to do. My father used to scoring so much and vibrating. My father is he will go out. Maybe it make when trying to make my mom to understand what it is, and my mom is not willing to understand. My father will just decide to step out. Do you understand? To step out of the home that way. When the tension is down, then he will come back. Do you understand? He will come back. And when he comes back, from there, I don't know how they settle it though. I don't know because it ends like that. So maybe they discuss it the night I'm not in their room with them, so I don't know. You understand? So, but somehow it to be a problem. So, Mr. Francis is saying that most of the broken marriages have remained broken because one party brought their conflicts to the public domain, hence they refuse to forgive. It's possible. I myself, I may be able to do that kind of a thing. Once you take my matter to the public domain, it's become a problem. You understand? It becomes a problem. That's why I say that you must first and foremost deploy all possible means to resolve. If you are unable to resolve it by yourself, then engage trusted people that can. Like for instance, now, it's me you reach out to me that this is what you're going through in your home, and I'm able to reach out to you or help you in that matter. You cannot hear it, and it should, in case I decide to use that experience just to teach something, I will not call names, or even if I call names, I will not call real names. You understand? So that the sanctity and that marriage will preserve. Because by the time you go and mention it in the public somewhere and mention their names, oh my goodness, you know their marriage. And so sometimes bringing issues in the public, some people, everything social media, everything media, and begin to talk about their home, their marriage. It's not correct. Yes, if it's a situation whereby you are under abuse, maybe physical violence, your life is being threatened, and there's maybe nobody to help you out, it's good to blow kind of whistle alarm so that we can address it. But I think that there should be immediate people that you can reach out to and seek for assistance rather than bringing it to the public. Do you understand? So that you can get help, not necessarily take it to social media. It's not correct. Some of these marriages do as a result of this. So always deploy um, possible solutions within yourself to solve your problem. This is my advocacy. Don't trust anybody so much outside to share your problems with. You are going through a problem. Some of you, maybe women especially, you're going through a lot in your home. Don't go and sit down and be sharing it to your friend outside. You are exposing your home. That's why sometimes some friends, some women will take over their husbands, their friends' husbands. Do you understand? Simply because they expose some of these things. So don't do that. Don't do that. If you are suffering anything in your home, don't go and begin to take people outside. Have the courage to sit your husband or your wife down and talk some kind of senses into his or her head. You understand? No, I'm not saying that you should come and be play any teacher role. I'm talking about you deploying the possible solution of solving your problem. Like, okay, what's wrong? If you notice that your husband is doing something that you don't like, maybe for instance now you suspect that maybe your husband is cheating on you. Let's take it. That's the problem. All right. You discover that you're suspecting something that your husband is cheating on you. All right. And maybe you even have concrete evidence to prove that your husband is cheating on you. So what do? You go and tell your friend that my husband is cheating on me. Or you call your parents and tell them that my husband is cheating on me. Or you call your pastor, my husband is cheating on me. Is that what you do? Is that the first thing you will do? No. But women do this. They do it. This is how they do it. When they discuss something, instead of them to discuss with their partner, they went They'll go about telling people, oh, they go to go and confront maybe the lady that they suspect that something is going. No, it's not correct. What you need to do is sit your husband down and discuss with your husband. Make him to understand what you know. Give him an opportunity to withdraw from that act. Make him to understand that you're willing to help to resolve whatever is the issue that caused what is happening. Only if he's also willing to cooperate with you. Solve the problem. So tell your husband how much you love him, how much you are willing to go to sustain your marriage. Not in violence, not in argument, not in quarrel. You understand? Make him feel his guilt by the way you talk to him. Don't make him begin to activate the African mentalism. No, African mentalism is that I am the head of the family. I am the man here. I am the one that married you. I am entitled to more than one wife. I can do whatever. That's African mentalism. So don't allow your husband to activate that mentalism. Do you understand? So what do you do? What do you do? What you will do is that use a different approach and make him feel free to discuss with you that you can be able to resolve the problem. So I want to sincerely thank you very much for taking time to be part of today's program. Okay, let me see what someone is saying here. Seeking assistance from close aiders with experience can be very helpful if couples find it difficult to sort out their differences. Now, this is another challenge. Couples with experience, yeah, it's possible you can some successful marriage for years. They have been married for 50 years or 40 years or 30 years. They can give you potential advice that can help you. That's fine. Or can they protect your secrets? And now, you know, what we say in mediation is this. What we say in mediation is this. In mediation, we expect that the parties involved should voluntarily agree to it. But this is something that you may not experience in all cases. You understand? But this is how we expect it to happen. Like, okay, me and my wife should be able to agree that, okay, let's go out and look at this particular person, counsel us. Most of the times women may be willing to like go, but husbands no. A man, it's very hard for a man to accept that you say, I want us to go and see someone to talk to us since we are finding it difficult to agree. Sometimes they find it difficult to. So before you approach anybody, I'm not saying you should not. Before you approach anybody regarding your marriage and your problem, first and foremost, make effort to convince the other party to also agree with the person you are proposing. You understand? And if the person raises issues, try to work on the issues the person raised first. And so that you give the person opportunity. And if those things are not being resolved, you can still go ahead. But You should be someone that can protect you and also your secrets. Not someone when you take your secrets, then it becomes source of your problems. It amplifies the problem. No, you understand? So, but at the end of it all, we must make effort to resolve our marital problems instead of taking them outside. That's the most important point here today. Exception where life is being threatened. In so whereby life is being threatened, then don't hold your peace. You understand? You can even report to security authorities. You can report to just for the sake of your safety, and then you can later see how you can resolve your problems and continue as come. But don't keep quiet when your life is being threatened. Never keep quiet because at the end of it all, understand that if you die today, that person may move ahead and marry another person or continue with his life. Except you say, well, something must kill a man, so your marriage must kill you. So no problem. But if that is not the case, then always make sure that if it concerns your life, you must seek help. You must seek help first. Right. So thank you very much. We appreciate all of you for taking time to be part of today's training. Um, like I said, we will take time to look at some practical steps or some certain and specific marital issues that we can address. Do you understand? And I think by so doing, we'll be able to address them. So thank you very much. Tomorrow we'll be looking at what is it? Compromise and negotiation as another strategy to solve marital conflict. Right. So, and one thing that I want you to have in mind that sometimes you know, combine these approaches to solve your marital problem. It may not just be one. You can collaborate and also compromise and also negotiate some certain solutions. Do you understand? Sometimes you have to use a combination of these approaches to solve problems. Thank you very much. Have a great night's rest. See you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Bye. Thank you for all of you that have wished me that day. I appreciate all of you. And I'm thinking maybe after this training, we'll do a kind of simulation training. That's what I'm thinking in my head. Whether we'll go through simulation or we should, I'm looking at the best thing that we should, or we should just pick some marital topics and then engage on some kind of peace awareness campaign or something of that nature. Or we should go through simulation training. Anyone, maybe we can choose any one of these and then use it. But we must do something practically to see that we get to understand some of this thing more. Thank you very much. We appreciate all of you and wish you the best. Bye.